All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the channel. So, in this introduction video, I'm going to explain why I decided to create this YouTube channel and what type of content you can expect from me moving forward. So, this channel is mainly going to be focusing on financial markets. Obviously, I think that's why you're here. We're going to be talking about trading, day trading, macroeconomics, geopolitics, and daily market forecasts. So, why did I create this channel? Well, the main goal of this channel is to provide you with some daily market forecasts with real analysis on a daily basis. That's the main goal of the channel. But the channel also has kind of like a secondary objective, which is to become a community in which we can have serious discussions where we can debate ideas and learn together. Because I find that learning is so much easier when it's done in with other people, in a community. So that's really important to me. It's creating a sense of community around this channel. So almost every single day, I'm going to be posting videos where I share my personal market analysis, which I call a daily forecast. So in these videos, I'll share my expectations for the next trading session, trading day, and I'll be sharing different scenarios that I think are most likely to happen in the markets. But there's just something I want to mention quickly here is that I work in terms of probabilities, right? And so I will always share what I believe to be the most likely thing to happen. Okay, I always go in terms of probabilities. And that obviously, if you know trading, you know that you can't be 100% right all the time. Okay, so I always go in terms of probabilities, but sometimes I might be wrong. So please don't like throw tomatoes at me, okay? Because I'm trying my best. Um, and the last thing that's really important that I wanted to mention is that every single week on Sundays, I will post a weekly forecast. So for the upcoming trading week, that forecast is going to be posted every single Sunday before 6 p.m. Eastern Time. Okay. And then during the weekdays, so Monday through Thursday, I'll be posting a daily forecast. So usually between 5 and 6 p.m. Um, but again, I'm a human being. I have things going on in my life. I'm busy, so I will try my best to post between 5 and 6. But please be indulgent. Sometimes I might be a little bit late. 6:15, 6:30. But just keep in mind that no matter what happens, I will post a daily forecast every single day. That's my pledge to you. Right. So moving on, I want to talk about a topic that I think very strongly about, and I want to make very clear from the beginning, okay? I'm not here to sell you a course. I'm not here to sell you signals or, some secret strategy of some kind. That's honestly not the type of content that I want to build on this channel. And there's already a lot of trading influencers out there that are selling you a lifestyle. They're selling you a dream rather than actually discussing the markets themselves. And I think that a lot of beginners fall into that trap. I fell into that trap myself when I first started my journey. And so that's never really been my vision of trading. I like to approach trading in a very serious and professional way. I try to completely cancel out most of the noise that's coming from social media and all those so-called gurus. Okay, so this is not what the channel is about. If that's what you're into, if you want to make money quickly and you like the nice cars and the nice watches, then you're not in the right place. I'm sorry to say that, but you're not in the right place. This channel is for serious and professional people. Okay? And so, you know, what I genuinely enjoy is the analysis itself. I love to understand price action. I love to understand macroeconomics and geopolitics. I like to understand psychology, liquidity, sentiment, and how all these things connect together. Okay? That's my interest. That's what I want to learn about. And obviously, like I said earlier, trading is probabilities. Okay? And that's one of the most important things to understand is that nobody can predict the market perfectly. So sometimes I'll be right in my forecast, and sometimes I'll be wrong. And that's completely normal, okay? Nothing is ever 100% certain in trading, okay? Let's move on. So, open discussion and debate. So, more than anything, I love analyzing charts, but something that I love to do even more is discussing new ideas with other traders, seeing new perspectives. So I want this channel to be more of an open discussion and analysis channel. I want you to disagree with me sometimes in the comments. I want you to give me your opinion, your perspective. I want to create debates and intellectual conversations because I genuinely believe that there's value in hearing different viewpoints and learning from each other. So if you disagree with one of my ideas or one of my market expectations, please do leave a comment and I'll do my best to respond to everyone. The only thing I'm asking is for you to stay constructive and respectful, and I will always respect your perspective as well. And that is my pledge to you. Respect and honesty are some very important values to me. So, I also wanted to tell you that chart requests are welcome. If there's a chart, a certain market, or a certain asset you'd like me to analyze and give my opinion on, um, even if it's not something that I don't usually cover in my daily forecasts, please feel free to ask. I just genuinely love analyzing charts in general, so I'm always open to looking at new markets and discussing new ideas. So please don't be shy. Let me know if you want me to check something specific. All right, so now let's move on into my actual daily forecast process, okay? And how do I go about making my daily forecast? So first thing first, I start by looking at the economic calendar. Okay, economic calendar is I can recommend one if you want. It's called Forex Factory, where you have all the economic data coming out. CPI, NFP, PPI, all these economic events. They're all in a calendar, and then you can plan your week ahead by using this calendar. Okay, so you can know which day are going to have more volatilities and which days are most likely to be consolidating, for example. Okay, so once I look at the economic calendar, then I move on to the first chart, which is DXY, which is also the US dollar. Okay, because the US dollar kind of moves everything, especially in currency markets, so forex markets. The dollar leads pretty much everything. So it's important to take a look at the dollar and know what it wants to do. Okay? So once I'm done with the dollar, I move on to the Forex majors, like EU, for example. And I also once in a while take a look at Forex crosses, like Australian dollar, New Zealand dollar, which is a chart that I love. I just love this instrument right here. Um, so what I do for the crosses is every weekly forecast. So every Sunday, I'm going to be taking a look at all the Forex crosses, and then I'm going to be making an interest list of the most interesting ones. And then later during the week, we can look at these crosses as the week unfolds. Okay, so yeah, so I look at the Forex pairs, and then after that, I move on to the metals, like gold. For example, gold is my favorite instrument. I think you will come to notice that I like gold a lot. That's the main instrument I trade, and I think that I know gold pretty well. Sometimes I feel like I know everything about gold. Obviously, I don't, but I don't know. It's just a market that feels natural to me, and that's where I get my best results. But I can also be taking a look at silver or even copper or aluminum and any metals, honestly. So after the metals, I move on to oil, crude oil. Especially right now, I'm recording this video. We are May 22nd of 2026. And in case you don't know, there's a war going on in Iran, and the Strait of Hormuz is still blocked. And so the price of oil surged like I think 60% from where it was back in February. So that's kind of a crazy move when you think about it. And right now, all the markets, okay, literally all the markets, so Forex, crypto, um, metals, indices, everything is driven by the price of oil right now. So whatever oil does, the other assets are going to react. And so I think right now, especially right now, it's extremely important to have a good analysis on what's happening on crude oil to understand the overall context and the overall macroeconomics of what's happening right now. Okay, so yeah, crude oil very important. Then after that, I move on to Bitcoin. So I look at Bitcoin because I'm interested in crypto, but I don't. How can I say it? Like don't ask me to analyze like meme coins or shit coins because I won't. I'm really not into that vibe. I just analyze Bitcoin, and then from analyzing Bitcoin, I pretty much know what all the other cryptos are going to do during the day because Bitcoin leads. Bitcoin is the main crypto in the world, and so just analyzing crypto is enough for me. Just analyzing Bitcoin is enough for me. But if you want me to, I don't know, analyze XRP, for example, then yes, absolutely. XRP is a well-known and trusted crypto, then I will definitely take a look at it. But don't ask me to, analyze some shitcoin somewhere because I won't. Okay? Um, so once I'm done with Bitcoin, after that, I move on to the indices. So the US indices mainly, so the S&P 500, and Nasdaq. But I am not a futures trader. Okay, that's really important. I'm not a futures trader. I only trade forex and gold, well, metals. Okay, but that doesn't change the fact that I love analyzing um, the indices. I just love it. And also on the side, I invest a lot. I also love stock picking. Okay, so if you want me to analyze some stocks as well, it's going to be a pleasure. Okay, I can also share my stock strategy with you guys. It's not a big deal for me. So if you want to talk about that, it's going to be a pleasure. But just know that when I look at the indices, I tend to look at them in a more medium to long term way and not like short term. Okay. And so that's it. After that, I'm done with the forecast, and we go on with our day, and we trade, and then we come back the next day with a new forecast, following the same process. Okay. Now, you're probably asking yourself, well, who's this guy? Who is he, and why should I trust him? Well, first of all, I just want to mention, I don't think you should trust me. I don't think I know it sounds counterintuitive, but I don't think you should trust me. Um, I think you should use my opinions and my market forecasts as some kind of confirmation or or consolidation of what you already think. Okay. I don't want you to go long on gold only because I said it in the previous forecast that we should go long on gold. Okay. Uh, because, I'm not selling you signals or anything. I'm just telling you what I think is the most likely thing to happen. And so, um, don't trust me all the time because sometimes I'm wrong, right? And so, let me tell you a little bit about myself. So, I started trading a few years ago, maybe 2 years ago, a little bit more than 2 years ago. And like most of us, most traders, I went through a lot of trial and error. There was a lot of confusion. I would always overcomplicate. I would hop strategies, and honestly, just I would have a lot of well, I felt like my brain was being poisoned by all the social media uh, trading influencers. But over time, I refined the way that I view the market and I simplified my overall approach. And now I can say that I've been profitable. Okay. And something really important that I want to mention is that, and I want to be extremely transparent about that, is that I'm not pretending to be a millionaire trader. Okay. Um, because that's not the reality. That's not who I am. I can say that I've been profitable for a relatively short period of time, and I'm still learning. I'm continuously improving, refining things, and I'm just evolving as a trader every single month. And honestly, I just think that that's a much healthier and more realistic mindset to have in trading, because trading is a constant learning process. Okay. You do not become profitable and you do not make $1 million overnight by trading. Okay. It takes years. Okay. And so I think that documenting my journey publicly, I think that this could be something really interesting over time. We'll see. And so talking about learning and where I came from and how I learned trading, um, I actually want to give credit where credit is due, because a lot of the concepts and the ways of thinking that I'm using today were heavily influenced by this guy, Arjo, which was my mentor. That's he. I learned all the concepts that I use today from Arjo. So I definitely want to mention him because he had a major impact on my journey and on the way I analyze markets today. So honestly, big shout out to Aryo and the MMT community. So the MMT community is a paid community where you can have in-depth videos with Aryo and kind of like one-on-one coaching with Aryo. But I would say that this is not essential. Aryo has tons and tons of free content and very valuable content too on his YouTube channel, and I learned everything from his YouTube channel. And so, if you want to understand my analysis and how I reach a conclusion, how I reach a bias, I strongly recommend that you check out Ario's content. Okay, uh, you can understand everything that I say just by looking at his free YouTube content. Okay, it's extremely valuable. Ario is a really nice guy. He's not one of those like um, trading influencers. He's a very serious and professional person, and I admire that. And I think there's not a lot like him on YouTube. So I'll reference his channel in the comments. Okay. All right. Another thing I wanted to talk about now is trading psychology, because that's just extremely important to me. I'm not a psychology expert. Like I never studied in psychology. But I think that the psychological side of trading is the biggest factor behind success or failure in this industry of trading. Okay, the people that are gonna win at this game, they take it seriously. They understand the psychology that is required to win at this game. Okay? So I'm really interested in psychological concepts like discipline or emotional control, patience, confidence, fear, greed. The, these things matter so much to me that it matters as much as like technical analysis, you know? So I'm always open to discussing the psychological side of trading as well. I can give you tips. You can give me tips, honestly, because I'm still learning, and we can just talk about it and learn about it together as a community. Because I know that a lot of traders struggle when it comes to their psychology. They're doing great when it comes to analysis and finding your edge and entering a trade and risk management. But then the problem is that their psychology is not intact. And that's a vicious cycle that you're always stuck in until you start working on your psychology and then you can unlock your higher potential. Okay. And so, also, I've read a couple of these books right here. These are just a few examples of the books I've read about, trading psychology. But if you want some recommendations, I can definitely give you some. And if you want to, if you've read these books and you want to discuss them with me, it's going to be a pleasure. Please just feel free to ask. Okay? So at the end of the day, this channel is really made for people who genuinely want to become serious traders. You know, people who wants to learn, people who just enjoy the markets themselves. People who understand that trading, like I said earlier, trading is a skill that takes years to develop and to master. Okay? This channel is not for people who are looking for like easy money glitches or, get rich quick shortcuts. This is not the point of this channel. I have a very long-term growth mindset and I'm really into discipline and consistency and building experience, okay? And so if you're here and you're thinking like, "Oh, I'm going to make $1 million in 2 weeks," then you're not in the right place. I'm sorry. All right, so let's move on to building a community. As I said earlier, I want this channel to evolve with the community. And, if you guys are interested, maybe once in a while I could do like live forecast. I could answer questions live. And we could just create different types of market discussions. We can create a Discord if you guys like. I'm really open to anything. I just want this to be as inclusive as possible. And so please give me some feedback, give me some new ideas on how I can operate this channel in your best interest. And so if you enjoy financial markets, if you enjoy trading psychology, macroeconomics, currencies, market structure, liquidity, or just simply hearing new perspectives on the market, then I think you'll probably enjoy this channel. But if you have a get rich quick mentality or you want that fake social media lifestyle, then you're not in the right place. I'm sorry. I can recommend you to like TJR's channel. All right. So, yeah, I just genuinely enjoy the process of trading, of the journey of becoming a trader. I love analyzing charts. I love talking about markets, and I think that building a serious and professional trading community around that, I think that could become extremely valuable over time. Okay? For me, but also for everyone that's part of the community. So yeah, that's it, guys. Thank you for listening. Again, welcome to the channel. I'm so glad you're here. I hope you're gonna enjoy it. And every single day, this is my pledge to you. I will be posting forecasts, and hopefully, over time, we can build something great together. Thank you, guys. Thank you for listening. I'll see you soon.